DaddyDWALLY here to say that the Xbox ergonomics on their controller is superior in every way to this caca DualSense I have in my hands. Over here, I've got my Elite. Oh, dang, gosh, this feels so good. We'll see you online to debate this. The Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast,
is a podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. Hosted by three BFFs, DaddyDWALLY, Chipotle Bear, and Bubble Boy and Seven.
And new intern, XbacongamN.
This is Cortana. And remember, don't make a girl a promise if you know you can't keep it. As always, Spartans, see you online.
I'm sorry, but BigBox, how do you play with this heinous DualSense controller on Fortnite? This thing is just, it's terrible. And then when you hold
the edge,
this incredible Elite, oh my gosh, the trigger action, these incredible just tension thumbstick. Anyway, oh hello, DaddyDWALLY here. Welcome to the Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. Joining me, as always, is the co-host and super producer, Chipotle Bear. Chipotle Bear, how are you?
I'm great, man. A huge shout out to all of our fans and, of course, you guys tonight for being able to record tonight. Usually we do it tomorrow night. I have a school event tomorrow night that I have to be there for. And so we're recording tonight, but excited to talk about all things going on that we just got a really awesome shout out drop, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But other than that, man, happy to be here.
And joining us as always, XbacongamN, aka Denver Broncos, are one game out of the playoffs, and they only have a 28% chance. They got to win this weekend. So, XbacongamN, how are you?
If we beat Houston this weekend and Indy loses, we are in the playoffs, just so you know. And the Raiders are all but eliminated, and the Chargers are all but eliminated. So things are good. I still think we can catch Kansas City, but hey.
About that, Bacon, I noticed. Shout out to Matt Perna over on That's Good Sports or what's his channel? Anyway, check him out. It's amazing. He pointed out that the Chiefs have the easiest last strength of schedule for their last schedule. And he's always like, and yet nobody ever gives Kansas City any advantages, and then you look at it, it's pathetic. So I don't think we're going to be catching up to the Chiefs. Apparently probably nobody is, but let's jump into Nerd Chat shoutouts, boys. And this one cracked me up. Shout out to old Mr. Lidle. Although, again, BigBox, this DualSense sucks. I'm going to say it one more time. Sucks. Just the worst ergonomics. My hands, look at this, BigBox. It feels like it's pushing my hands out. These triggers suck. The thumbsticks suck. How can you not?
Roasted.
And look at the Elite. Look at the perfect. Look at where your thumbs go. Naturally, your thumbs go right to where the thumbsticks are and the buttons. Not over here. And then these machine molded triggers, BigBox, and then the back paddles. You got, oh my gosh, I freaking love that controller. BigBox 1431 wrote in right after our last episode. Chipotle brought up the Xbox bias topic, and I think I have a plausible position that can satiate all parties.
Satiate, I like it.
I know. Look at that. I'm surprised I read that correctly.
But I dig it.
Game critics are kind of assembly line workers in a sense. Get game 10 days early, play game, write review, submit, repeat. Live, die, repeat. Shout out. Great movie. Except this one. This is an old reference. And the only reason I only have heard of Lucille Ball is because of the amazing Netflix / Fox.
What is wrong with you, bud?
Arrested Development. They're Lucille Ball stuffing chocolates anywhere they can. Great scene from I Love Lucy. This type of assembly line work attracts people who naturally play assembly line type games. What is PlayStation known for? Easily digestible, high production value, 25-hour, one-and-done games. What is Xbox known for? Multiplayer and much better genre variety. That's very true.
Mhm.
Two things that throw friction into the assembly line process. So I think the Xbox tax is real. It's just not an Xbox bad tax as much as it is an Xbox doesn't make my type of game tax. Hellblade 2 has that kind of critics like this type of game feel to it. That seems like a safe early bet for Game of the Year next year. I don't know, Big Box. I'm just going to say it right now. I don't think so.
Less puzzles.
Am I being reasonable? P.S. I do own a Series X. It's just not hooked up. Halo, Combat Evolved, and Splinter Cell Spies vs. Mercs are both in my top 5. So I do have a love for Team Green. As for The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, I view it like this. I view it like a Dodge Ram commercial during a football game. It doesn't do anything for me, but I don't begrudge Dodge for trying to make money.
That's an amazing
Yeah,
analogy.
Big Box
That's an
and-
incredible analogy.
It's
That
an
sounds like a
incredible analogy.
personal
And you know what's so
attack.
funny, Big Box? I'm pretty sure XbacongamN owns a Dodge. What do you got a problem with, Mopar?
Personal
Big
attack.
Box? I'm pretty sure Bacon has a Dodge Ram.
My Dodge Ram is sweet.
So apparently Big Box likes PlayStation and hates Mopar. So shout out to Big Box 1431. Seriously, you made me laugh. I wrote back to your comment. Shout out to Big Box. Guys, let's jump into his thoughts on his hypothesis on the Xbox bias. Is it really that Xbox just doesn't make my type of game tax? And he might be onto something. I don't think all reviewers like this, but I do hear a lot. Shout out to Kind of Funny, Tim Geddes. Also shout out to what is his name? Gosh, not Greg Miller. Greg Miller's co-host. Blessing. He also I always hear him say this. Oh, this isn't my kind of game. Whenever they're doing the Xbox, showcase reactions. Greg Miller, this is great, but not my kind of game. He might be onto something the more I think about this. So, Jose, what do you think of we're not saying there's an Xbox tax, and I want to save the bigger conversation of this for another time, because I did talk to Ains, and he is down to come on our show whenever to talk about the optics of Xbox for sure, but he's just like too busy right now, and we're going to plan it for later on. And shout out, we still need to get Luke Lore up in here too. Maybe we should have both of them on here, do our own little cast co-op.
I think
Screw
Luke's
you,
done with
Joe.
soccer now too, so I think he can join sooner than later.
Joe, we'll keep you out of this because we already know there's an Xbox tax with your ass. So, Jose, do you think there might be it's just not my kind of game, so I just don't really care for it? Go ahead.
More importantly, before we get into this, I need to go back to the Lucille Ball thing. Dan, do you really not know who Lucille Ball is?
Wow.
That's the I Love Lucy
That is
actress?
shocking.
Do you know more than that, though?
No, I had no idea.
Dude, an incredible show from a historical standpoint. I'm not going to get into it
understand that.
Do you get the reference to the scene he's talking about?
No.
So there's a very, very famous scene because Lucille was kind of like a cornerstone of almost black and white TV into light color TV. But the scene is basically she gets hired at a candy shop, and it's like a conveyor belt of chocolates. And at first they start coming really slowly, and she's like, it's no problem. And then they start just like slamming, and it's like slapstick humor, but she's like shoving them in her mouth till she's full and down her dress. And it is a very, very classic and very, very funny scene.
A good reference for, would you say it's a good reference for boomers, Jose?
Yeah, including all of us, bud. Like, we're part of that group too. I know you don't want to hear that
again.
Yeah. But that was a great.
Wait. I just have to say this. I have to interrupt, Jose. I just YouTubed I Love Lucy. Okay. I just typed in I Love Lucy. What is the first thing that pops up?
Chocolate
I Love Lucy.
Scene.
The second thing, I Love Lucy Chocolate Factory. I'll watch it right now while you're speaking.
It's a great one. Great shout out, BigBox. Back to your question about the Xbox thing. I mean, I think this is, with all the rhetoric of the Xbox tax over the last couple of weeks, which honestly is just getting a little boring to me. Like I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about something else. I do think this is a very reasonable take on what's happening. That for whatever reason, I guess what I don't understand is I don't think that the games that Xbox makes aren't games that people play. That's a little bit weird. But if that's how people justify it, is why I don't vote for it or why I don't support it, because it's just not my kind of game, that's reasonable. That's not a stupid like arguing for no reason and making a arguments that don't exist, that does make a lot of sense. You know, I think that what we've kind of hinted to several times on the show, and will be interesting to see in the next 5 years, is with some of the acquisitions and maybe some of that trend with Sony, that could start to tip the scales. Not all the way back. I'm not saying that will ever happen. Again, I still think we lost that 360 generation, and the Xbox One generation, and that's going to haunt us for a very long time. But if all Sony does is that kind of easily digestible thing, that'll work for a time. It absolutely will, and it may work for a very long time. But at some point, people do want different things, and especially because here's the other part: as gaming becomes or has become much more mainstream, as more people play it from the time that they're young to the time that they're old, including us boomers, Dan, right? I do think that people will like a variety of things, and so that may be an element, a place where, in the long run, that Xbox will do well. You know, I guess I'll finish with is I do really just appreciate BigBox, because I know he's a PlayStation guy at heart, and this is what I like to hear. I'm happy to answer his questions, and we can have our back and forth, but no hostility, just good conversation, man. And to the Senua thing, I do think it's a contender, but if GTA 6 comes out, I don't think there's any chance Senua's going to be GTA 6, but it would definitely be a nominee. I could speak for the.
So okay, so let's attack that right now. Do you two guys think Senua is going to be a nomination for a game of the year?
I do.
As long as they can add some good combat into the game.
Why do you think that? Because it's artsy fartsy Sony first party third person adventure game.
It has undertones of mental health. There's a lot there.
It also does things differently, in the same way that Alan Wake did some amazing, cool new things, even though it wasn't exactly what we wanted. But just the experience, like the sound, cues and the story and stuff. Senua is could do that. Not will. I don't know if it will. I need to see more. But from just a couple of things I've seen already, it boasts some impressive tech, man, I think.
Okay. I'm just wondering if it was awards. I'm gonna look this up. So Bacon, go ahead. What is your reaction to Big Box's theory here on
he's definitely
Xbox.
Right. Because as we know, Xbox has games that have legs and have long lives to them. Let's take Grounded, for example. Is Grounded a game you can review right away, or is Grounded a game that has evolved from the time it was in early access till right now? There's so much they've added to this game. So if you review Grounded in early access or right at the 1.0 release, then you might not have a favorable look at the game. Same as Sea of Thieves. They're, at launch compared to now. Halo Infinite at launch compared to now. The difference is people keep coming back and playing these Xbox games. I don't hear Spider-Man 2 in the news anymore. I don't hear God of War in the news anymore. You play it for one weekend.
Oh, we're going to get to that.
You finish it in one weekend and you put it away and go back to your FIFAs or whatever it is. And that
doesn't make it a bad game. That doesn't make
it a bad game at all.
I completely agree with you.
You're not going to go back in and play it again unless you're searching for the platinum or there's a few extra achievements to pick up until there's a DLC that comes out for the game.
Or God forbid, another game comes out that you want to play and you play that.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that, right, guys?
And we all know that Starfield, just like Skyrim, is going to have legs for 10 years.
But that shouldn't even matter.
I know. And the modders are going to continue to change the game. And it's the different kind of game. Modders aren't going to go in and change Spider-Man. They're not going to go in and change God of War or Sackboy or anything like that. So he's probably right. It's that 20-hour experience that holding your hand, carrying you down a runway, flashy graphics, flashy this and that, and your jaw's on the ground and you say 9 out of 10. Starfield has been incredibly unfairly judged.
Save your Starfield thoughts. We'll get to that.
But now, Big Box, we need to talk about this Dodge Ram issue. I have owned 3 Dodge Rams in a row.
Here we go, guys.
Dang. And I get more bang for the buck because the comparable.
That's true. You do get
the comparable $60,000 truck I bought is $85,000 through Ford because I've looked at them.
And like 100
I always get my trucks fully loaded. I get every bell and whistle, and it is the best ride quality of any vehicle you'll ever drive. My wife has a BMW.
Recently.
My wife has a BMW. We only take it grocery shopping. We don't even take that on road trips. So
why don't you get an Dodge Ram, bud?
She loves her BMW.
Well, here's the counter argument, though. Let's continue this Dodge Ram debate in the Mopar.
Okay.
I bought a used Chrysler Pacifica.
That was your first problem.
Not only was it used, it was a used former rental vehicle.
Oh,
I didn't
boy.
want to pay a lot of money for a minivan. I just didn't want to do it. Bought it for 20 grand. It only had, I believe, 44,000 miles on it. But Big Box, thankfully, I bought one that had the 100,000 10-year, extended warranty on it. And of course, what happened, Jose? I told you guys, cylinder misfires due to coolant leaking into the cylinders, covered under warranty. Drives great. But besides that, it's been pretty dang smooth, and I've enjoyed my experience. And there's nothing that beats those Stone Go seats. I'm sorry. They were incredible,
folks.
They were incredibly smart to patent that and not let anybody else take that, because it is the best. But again, got lucky that I had that warranty. Otherwise, I would have been screwed. And then there's Jose, who's owned multiple Jeeps in his lifetime, Jose, and what's happened to each one of them?
Well, to be fair, it's 2 exactly. Well, the first one got totaled because of hail damage. Nothing to do with the engine. I love that Jeep. My second one, I just started. Quick fun fact, because we need to move on. I had to fill up my first gas tank today with my new car. Guess how much it cost me? For the record, I had 50 miles left in my tank, and I was like, it was getting close to the empty. So I was like, oh, I should fill it up. Guess how much it cost?
I'm guessing you have a 15-gallon tank on that thing. And it was 2 something, so right around 35 or less.
It cost me $26
Woo!
to fill the tank. Yeah, I was pretty happy. Anyway, moving on.
Thank you, Big Box. Shout out. We're gonna get back to the Xbox tax. Don't you worry about that. Probably not going to talk about Dodge Rams anymore, even though I would love to have a Charger. I'm not going to lie. I think they look sick sometimes, you guys. But Jose, let's jump into our main topic and Xbox news for the week.
News team, assemble!
News story number 1, the title of our episode, the Starfield Tax. This all started when our good friend, who, I invited back to the show tonight, Mr. Matthew Kennedy, Mr. M. Ken 10 himself. He's too busy playing Baldur's Gate right now. I know you are, Matt. I was just on my PlayStation. I saw you. I was about to send you a
listening
message,
right now,
but I won't. He sent us the infamous Kotaku article that is going around right now. Does anyone want to guess what it has to deal with, Bacon?
Player counts for Starfield.
Player count for Starfield. I'm going back. I'm in the DMs right now. And he sent us the article and he said, "Hey guys, did you see this article? Just something to think about before you go crazy on me. Just putting it out there. I'm not a Kotaku fan or anything, but this was an interesting read, to say the least." And the title of the Kotaku, I can't believe I'm giving him another click right now. Why is Starfield hemorrhaging active players? Bethesda's spacefaring RPG seems to be failing short of its galactic expectation. Shout out to Claire Jackson, banned from the nerd chat. Banned. Claire's out of here. Basically, she wrote about how the Valve's or Steam's reviews have gone from positive into mixed, and how we've seen a drop in player count, and oh my gosh, it's the end of the world. Starfield is a terrible game. I wrote back to Matt, even MKen10 is buying into the Xbox tax. And I sent him another article from Forbes. Shout out to the only sensible Starfield defender. And I don't even like Paul Tassi sometimes. Sometimes I think his takes are whack over on forums on Starfield's plummeting player count after 80 days. He talks about how, you know what? Starfield's doing great. I had a great time with it. It's not a live service games. This is what happens to single player games. As Bacon mentioned, you play them, you move on, and you can go back. And he said, but even after 80 days, I've maintained that it's done quite well. especially on the Xbox, where it's remained in the top 10 most played games since launch. Even now, after these 80 days, it's still number 10 again, ahead of Rocket League, Overwatch, GTA Online, massive multiplayer games as a service games. Starfield on Xbox is still in the top 10. So we have one article saying it's the end of the world, that the player count is hemorrhaging just on one platform, which doesn't account for the people playing on PC through Game Pass. Then we've got one guy saying, hey, this is great how well it's been doing. It's still in the top 10 on consoles where there's a huge audience. We then went on to have a heated discussion with
A lengthy
Matt.
discussion. It took me
Yes.
12 minutes just to catch
Well,
up.
yeah, Jose, for some reason, he was just muting us and didn't respond. But I just wanted to
I
point.
was at work.
This is
Good
my this is my main thing, guys. And some of my main complaints, and then I'm gonna hand it over to Jose because I didn't get his opinions on this since he was working and he didn't chat to us. I basically defend the fact that it being in the top 10 on Xbox is incredible. And I still, to this day, I just saw on my Xbox, I still see multiple people on Starfield. I've seen more people on my personal friends list on Starfield than Modern Warfare 3, which I think is crazy. I said, I also think it's incredibly unfair for everybody on the internet to compare Starfield to Skyrim. Skyrim, a game of literal generations that people go into, a game that Jose pointed out is the 5th entry to that franchise, not a first attempt at a new IP in 25 years, which I don't see what the big deal is by saying that. I don't think that's overhyping. That's just a fact. And I said, people just want to hate. Do we see any kind of these hit piece articles on Spider-Man's player count dropping? Okay. Or on Gran Turismo's player count dropping, or on Final Fantasies player count dropping? I guarantee that there wouldn't be articles like this about Spider-Man games, and we wouldn't have seen an article like this if this game was multi-platform, or God forbid, imagine if this was a PlayStation exclusive. Do you think we would be seeing these? And we went on, but Jose, do you think that Starfield suffers from the Starfield tax? What is going on with the optics of this game? Is it just to hit up for these companies to just hit up the search engine and get the clicks, or what is going? Why is this game getting so much negative attention at all times?
Let me ask you this, Dan. Do you think it was wise of Naughty Dog to do a remaster of Last of Us 2?
Do I think it was wise?
Yeah.
I don't
I
give
haven't
an
seen it
F.
yet.
That's exactly what I wanted you to say. If people don't like Starfield, that's fine. I like Starfield. I don't care if other people do. I think these articles are dumb. All of them.
I agree.
Because it's just because here's to your question. Hang on, you asked me a question. The article that we have in our notes is actually from Eurogamer. It's on the same topic. It's from Victoria.
No. We'll get to that. Save the Eurogame one because I do want to talk about it as a separate thing. Them responding.
I don't care that people are talking negatively about Starfield. It's doing fine. It's a great game. There's going to be a sequel to it one day. It's going to do great. People will play the game and love it, and those that don't, that's fine.
I'm not arguing about players' opinions of the game, Jose.
But you're talking about the review thing, and that's I think on Bethesda's part, that's not a great idea. That's the equivalent.
We'll get to that in a second. Yes.
Well, then what am I responding to then?
The article saying the player count is hemorrhaging in Starfield's.
It's clickbait.
Player
That's
count.
what it is.
Okay.
It's just trying to.
Where's the Spider-Man article? Why I haven't heard a single person in my timeline talk about Spider-Man 2 to 3 weeks after launch. Where's the article saying Spider-Man's player count is dropping?
I don't know, but to be fair, I don't know if Claire plays either of those games. I don't know if she plays games at all, right? Like at some point you have to understand that part of being in the media, including us too here on the Nerd Chat, is like we have to produce content. And sometimes when you don't know what to do, you grasp onto something that you know is controversial and you move forward. I don't think that makes it legitimate or a legitimate concern. Like I'm not losing sleep over this. If you don't,
so are you admitting, Jose, that people are doing this?
I can speculate. I didn't talk to Claire, right? But that's my speculation. Is that's what's happening? They want clicks.
Okay, we'll get to the Bethesda's response to reviews in a moment. Bacon, You had a lot of thoughts on this. Bacon's immediate reaction, I've noticed, is just a bash on Spider-Man, which I don't think is quite fair because Spider-Man may have been buggy, but let's be real, it wasn't that bad, Bacon. Like, it's a
Still
massive
sold
hit.
millions and millions of
I mean,
copies.
I would love to read this whole conversation, but I don't want to take everybody's time. And that's why I wish Matt was here right now. Maybe the next time we have him on. But basically, Matt was arguing that Starfield was overhyped and Todd Howard was overhyping it. And I disagree. And the main point that Matt kept bringing up was that it was because he kept saying that this is the newest, the brand new IP from Bethesda and the first one in 25 years. Can somebody, Bacon, can you tell me why that is overhyping a game when that is literally a fact of the game? Bethesda has not made a new IP for 25 years. They've just done Fallout and Elder Scrolls. Is that overhype, or is that us, yourselves, the audience, creating that overhypeness? Because again, I went into Starfield not expecting anything. I was just like, it is Bethesda. I expect it to be a good game. I expect it to be a little bit buggy, but I don't know what this game is. I just want to play it and experience it. I played and experienced Starfield, and it blew me away, especially the polish of the game and how well it ran. That I was expecting bugs. This game runs flawless. I had zero issues. Okay. And I was lucky. Some people did have some issues, but whatever. That's besides the point. I went into a game being like, it's Bethesda. It's going to be good. I don't know what this game is. I can't wait to experience it. And it blew me away. Matt went into it. Oh, first new IP in 25 years. This is going to be greater than Starfield or Skyrim. This has to be better than Fallout. They're going to take everything they've learned from Skyrim and Fallout, and they're going to make this incredible game of a generation game. I'm not saying, Matt, that you were thinking that. I'm just using you as an example. And people were let down a little bit. That's on them. That's not on Bethesda. I think Bethesda did everything right when it came to advertising. They showed us everything in that direct. What am I missing, Bacon? Is there a Starfield tax, or do I feel like I'm taking crazy pills right now?
No, you're not.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
You're not wrong. It feels like Todd's being penalized for making a new IP.
Exactly.
If they would have just made another Elder Scrolls or another Fallout, what would the articles been there?
That's a great point.
It's another freaking Fallout, or it's just another free. So they branch out and they make something overly ambitious, overly creative. The fact there's 1,000 planets to explore. Yes, most of them are procedurally generated. And
you don't
deserves its respect. And the best part is when I brought up the bugs issue for our boy MCAN, and there was these cute little bugs where, NPCs were dancing on their heads and people were falling off buildings. They were just cute. Those are bugs, MCAN. You can't paint Spider-Man 2 is a flawless experience because it clearly is not a flawless experience. That's what I got to say to my man, MCAN. Love you, dude. But it's funny how they'll look past things because it's the IP that is loved so much and it's so adored on the platform that, the sugar cube thing is kind of cute for a while. It did get taxing at the end. Whatever. Spider-Man's off the table. I don't care.
Off the bugs, Bacon. All right, gosh.
But am I wrong by saying if he would, it's just like Halo, Gears, and Forza, if they would have came out with just another Skyrim or just another Fallout, the articles would have been equally as negative, mainly because Xbox bought them. But
I don't know. And this kind of goes back to what BigBox was saying. I don't know if it would have been as bad because it's like that's what people want. They want what they enjoy. And so I think if this was just literally Fallout, just Fallout 5, and it was just like 4, I don't think the reception in these weird articles and the reviews would be nearly as bad. And again, I forgot to mention the one main point I kept asking Matt, and he still hasn't answered. I said, what if this game, what if Starfield was multi-platform? And even crazier, what if this was a PlayStation exclusive, like it originally Sony was trying to do? That's the whole reason Phil stepped in and said, we need to buy Bethesda if they're willing to sell, because PlayStation is going to make this an exclusive and we are not going to get this game. And Matt still hasn't responded saying, maybe you're right. I genuinely think if this game was multi-platform, we wouldn't be seeing these articles about player count. We wouldn't be seeing this 80 whatever 2-3 Metacritic continue to drop because of these insane reviews. I guarantee it. Whether or not that's an Xbox tax or it just people don't like the fact that it's not on PlayStation or it's not what they were expecting. I think there is some truth to that, and it's incredibly infuriating. Like Bacon, you said it great. Like Todd Howard seems to be being punished because he created a new game that wasn't what people wanted.
So if instead of Spider-Man 2, they would have made Spider-Man Mary Jane, and there's nothing but Mary Jane missions, I can imagine they'd have been pretty mad at that. So Todd penalized for making a new IP, and if the Mary Jane, I mean, we can make that an IP. Do you ever remember an IGN reviewing a game and then posting that picture of their 7 out of 10 every day for an entire week just to remind every Xbox fan that IGN gave it a 7 out of 10? You ever remember that ever happening before?
No.
IGN did it for an entire calendar week. Every day they posted their 7 out of 10
and
on Twitter.
And what I don't remember, I don't remember Ryan McCaffrey, and I respect the hell out of Ryan McCaffrey. I've seen him post things about Xbox recently.
Yep.
And he recently posted something about, look at this thing from Forza Horizon 5. And then he put in parentheses, a game IGN was our game of the year. And I'm just like, him acknowledging that is freaking sketchy AF. Like that is you admitting, hey, I'm trying to like show that there's no bias here, but I need to point it out. It's so weird. I've seen a few tweets of his and from IGN saying, hey, here are some of the great games that we love on IGN. And then even Destin with his whole,
did you watch any of that stream?
No, I didn't watch any of the stream, but I did comment on him saying, hey, look at this great article about Quantum Break. And I even commented in the beginning of the Quantum Break article, they're like, yeah, this game is good, but nobody played it because it was on Xbox, the failed console back in 2016. It's like the way people write about it, I just don't see that for PlayStation. I don't see these articles for Nintendo.
You don't.
Even the worst articles I've ever seen about like Knack or Matt brought up Days Gone. They were nothing like this. People were just upset with an average broken game before it was when it was reviewed, and then they fixed it later on. All I'm arguing, especially with Starfield, is you don't see this from PlayStation games. You can argue that Starfield is a 6 or 7 to you. That's fine. I'm not seeing Xbox or PlayStation articles like these player count stuff on their 7 to 10 games, or their failure of games. And Nintendo can do no wrong. If you write one bad article on Nintendo, you're like banned from the internet. Like you're just, God forbid, you call out the boring open world in Breath of the Wild. Like God forbid you accuse Nintendo, the golden kids, of doing anything wrong. So I'm sorry. There is something going on with Starfield, and it's unfair, like you said. And I hate to see it because I do own all these consoles. I play everything. I literally have played Skyward Sword this month or this week. I'm playing Bloodborne on my PS5, and I'm playing games on my Xbox. I'm somebody who puts in the time to all of this, and I love video games. But I'm sorry, Starfield has been unfairly treated, and Xbox, something's going on, guys, and I shouldn't care. You're right. Like, it's just video games. And I don't ultimately care because I continue to play Xbox and continue to support the platform. But I just can't sit here and be like, oh, yeah. No, it's because Xbox makes normal average games and they're just not that good. Maybe that's why. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
In regards to this article, the topic of what we are speaking about, I have just shy of 60 hours in Starfield. And I was less high on that game than both of you two. So I know both of your playtimes have to be above that. And I'm part of this statistic who are no longer playing Starfield because I beat the game.
Me too.
Have clickbait articles like this is just more salt in the wound. They're just trying to rub it in and get clicks and SEO and driving traffic to their websites. It's just absurd. You're correct, Dan. The Spider-Man 2 numbers have to be falling off. Where are all the God of War numbers? God of War's lost 97% of the player base.
Where's the Horizon Forbidden West numbers? Where's the Gran Turismo?
Falling off a map. It is what it is. It's a single player game. How come they also don't put an addendum at the end of this article saying, well, Halo Infinite numbers are way up? Because it just doesn't meet the narrative. So
let's get Jose back in here with this. I also tied in, maybe Bethesda isn't making the smartest of choices with this article that tied into it. Again, I think this might be criticism that's valid, but it's another Starfield article that I see everyone trashing on. Bethesda responding to negative Starfield reviews on Steam, a Saturn of events. And this is coming from Victoria Kennedy over at Eurogamer. Bethesda's customer support team has been responding to negative Starfield reviews on Steam. Basically, if you go down, you can see somebody saying, "Oh, these people, you can fly, you can shoot, you can mine, you can loot," said this one person's review. Starfield is an RPG. Oh, sorry. One user called Starfield's story generic and the gameplay boring. And then Starfield responded with all these positive things that you can do with it. And you can go click this article and you can see all the reviews and people responding. And I have to say, guys, I also did randomly notice this when I was on the Xbox store the other night. I randomly was checking out Starfield. I think it was on sale and I just clicked on it to see how much it was just to buy. And then I went down to the reviews because I always go down to the user reviews on Xbox. And sure enough, I saw some Bethesda responses. I'm like, oh, that's weird. I didn't know. I was like, I had no idea that the developers could even respond. Like Jose said, he thinks it's a bad look. I agree with him. I don't think this is a good look, but I have no problem with a developer wanting to defend their game and do it in a way that, like, it's an open forum. We see this kind of this stupid, we see people trashing you on Twitter, and I love it when people talk back and be like, hey, if you're gonna talk trash about our game, I'm gonna respond to that. I think they absolutely have the right to do that. And I even saw another article saying, well, this is normal for small indie developers. They talk all the time on their reviews and, comment and address issues that players may have. But for Bethesda to do it, a AAA studio, this is just a horrible look. This is unacceptable. Is it the best look? I don't think so, but I think Bethesda by all means can defend their product and say whatever they want if someone's going to trash them. So Jose, give me your thoughts to the Bethesda defending their game.
Well, I want to clarify a point. I don't think it's a bad look that Bethesda's defending their game. That's not what I meant to say. If that's what you heard earlier, what I think is a bad look is trying to fight trolls. Like, the definition of a troll is someone who is not going to be reasonable, who's not going to change, whose sole purpose is to infuriate you and to make you feel bad. And for anyone that's listened to the show for a long time, or if you're new to the show this time, I'm not that guy. Like, I think life is hard enough and sad enough, and there's a struggle enough out there that, like, I just like being happy. I like games that make me happy. If you don't like those games, cool. I like movies that are weird. If you don't like those movies, cool.
I agree.
So I don't think it's stupid that Bethesda's trying to defend themselves. I just think this manner is like the way that I could envision what happened was like their PR team was like, okay, we're getting some bad press. What should we do? And someone said, well, hey, you know what might be? What if we just tried to have a reasonable conversation with people? And so this one review said, this game is boring. You can't do anything. He said, look, I'm not going to get mad. I'm not going to call them an idiot, even though they probably are. I'm going to say, did you know that you can fly and loot and steal?
Yeah.
And the guy's going to probably respond, and it's going to be pretty like,
it's going to, yeah,
like that's literally what's going to happen. I don't think that's a smart use of resources. I think it's great to defend it on Twitter. I think it's really a classy move when people write like letters, right? Like to the community of like, look, we're very passionate about this. And it's like what Todd did. Todd did that prior to the release of like, this is everything we've worked for all this time. Like, I also think it's one of those where like, the reality is this is a flavor of the week. And so instead of putting all that effort into trying to change people's
3 months past launch.
Yes. I agree with you, man. You're right. 80 days out, this, like, of course people are done playing this game because we beat the game. You know what I'm saying? But here's, and I agree with all that. But here's the other way to look at that, and this is what I wanted to mention in the article specifically, and shout out to Victoria for this. She says in the article, in the 80 days that it's been out, there have been 80,000 reviews. And while
and a lot of people have spent 50 hours in the game that they hate.
That's what I'm saying. Is my point here is that for a game that, according to this article, only 69% of those are positive reviews. that's in my mind, that's a W right there, right? Like I'm in the world of education. 69 is fine. You're great. You're
These
pass-
get degrees, baby.
You're well. You're a C, baby. You're above passing. Life is smooth. If for a game that's a mega blockbuster to not only have that many people positive about it, but if it's been out 80 days and there's 80,000 reviews, that means there are 1,000 reviews every day on this game. If that's not positive PR, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills at that point.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills, Jose.
So I'm going to pass it to Bacon, but here's what I would say. I just don't. Matt's in the chat. He said, "This is why I love upset right here."
Gosh.
Good to see you.
Get
buddy.
out of here, Matt. You should be in here right now.
Here's what I would say, man. This is gonna go away in 2 days, dude. Like
Is it
it's
though?
yes, it is.
You really think this Starfield saga is going to go away? Because I don't.
I mean, maybe not, but here's this article will go away in 2 days. And here's the thing:
That's true.
what you have to remember at the end of the day is it going to sour my experience that I already played it? No, I had a great time with the game. Will I probably go back and play it again? Yeah, I probably will. I'd love to go do another run. I still need to get my treasure achievement.
But I also got to point out, did you see that IGN tweet just recently happened for that one guy who tweeted, "Oh my God, I found my doppelganger."
Oh yeah, that one thing. Yeah.
On, what was it? New Game
the
Plus
34th run or
whatever
something.
it is like that. It's like, they're like, "Oh my gosh, look at what this player." Hey, guess what? If Dan Stapleton actually played the game and put some time into New Game Plus and would have seen how crazy it is, you guys wouldn't be so shocked at something like that. There's so much going on in Starfield, man, that it is just. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills, Matt. I feel like
I'm taking crazy pills.
Anyway, I'll just leave it at, man, like the game is great. It's not going to stop Todd and the team from a sequel. It's not going to stop. Like this is part of the process. No, I don't think so.
Dude,
I would
be shocked. Bacon, closing comments. Are we getting a Starfield sequel?
As far as this Eurogame article, either Bethesda's hired DJ Khaled.
I ask you, what do you think of this in general?
This is Chat GPT, the way it's rhyming and the words they're using. It's Chat GPT that is replying to it. It's AI that's replying to these reviews, dude. Look at the way
that's an I mean, here's the thing. I want to disagree with you, but at the same time, it's like, Microsoft is all in on this AI thing. And I mean, Bethesda is AI. So
you can run, you can loot, you can jump, you can shoot. Come on.
Were you Dr. Seuss out here?
Really have a good rhyme like that, though?
It's AI, bro. That's not a good rhyme. That's a terrible dad joke rhyme.
I mean,
anyway.
I just don't think you should do that. Like that's like I said, that's like my kids at school.
You're right.
Someone saying this girl called me his name. I'm like, well, I'm gonna go just talk to her and we're gonna solve it.
But on any consumer electronic, if you review it poorly on Best Buy, the manufacturer comes in and says, "Sorry about your experience. Can we fix it doing this or that?"
Yeah, you're right. I see that all the time.
There's nothing wrong with them.
I don't think there's anything wrong with
product.
He nailed it right in that, where he's like, it sounds like a great idea. Let's have a sensible conversation. Let's try to, show them, why don't you try this? Did you do this? And they're just poo-poo cacas. So closing thoughts, closing statement.
Kill it.
Matt, the Starfield tax is real. And you can come on the show anytime.
Defend your position, sir.
We can talk about this because you still have an answer.
Fight you.
Would this be happening if this
1.
game was on PlayStation? And I think you know the answer. News story number 2: the positive impacts from a Game Pass deal. Guys, I came across this, and the main thing is this is coming from Mike Rose, and he is the developer, one of the developers of, how do you say this game? Does anyone know?
Spirittea.
Is it Spirittea?
I think so.
Spirittea.
It's time for a classic. This is directly from his Twitter. It's time for another classic Mike Rose stats tweet thread. It's time. It's Spirittea launch week stats. We launched last Monday, and it's been one of our biggest launches to date. 1 million sales in week 1. 150,000 players across PC, Switch, and Game Pass. Profitable day 1. Week 1 profits are 3 times the game development cost. Top seller charts in all regions on Nintendo eShop. Solo developer project with plenty of updates to come. It's been a fantastic launch. A fascinating launch due to where the game has been most successful. Usually we do very well on Steam, then console versions catch up in the months afterwards. For Spirittea, Steam was our weakest platform, with Xbox and Switch accounting for 80% of the revenue. I think the reason for this is at least part to do that Steam store has evolved compared to console stores. Way more AAA publishers have started popping their stuff up on Steam, having failed to make non-Steam PC platforms happen. In turn, Steam has become more AAA heavy, which means there are more eyeballs on bigger releases and less for the smaller ones. On consoles, the playing field remained pretty much the same. In fact, there's less AAA on Switch since the Switch can't really handle newer AAA games. So at launch, Spirittea moved into the top-selling charts on Switch and has stayed there. This means while Steam sales have begun to drop, Switch are staying solid and people are discovering the game through the top sellers. And this is the big thing I wanted to talk about, was the focus on Xbox. On Game Pass, on Xbox, Game Pass has, as usual, been huge for us. Spirittea was actually meant to launch in 2022, and this point really made me think. But after we got the Game Pass deal, we decided, hey, let's make this thing even bigger and better, hence the delay into 2023 and the 100 plus hours of content. Over 100,000 people have played the game on Game Pass last week. And we've heard plenty of people say they bought the game on Steam or Switch after playing the Game Pass version. So once again, an incredibly good experience for us. Guys, I really wanted to focus on that point that I never considered. Sure, you want to make money selling your games or getting a game on Game Pass and getting the exposure from it. But he points out that getting that money up front allowed them to delay the game and then make it better. I never thought about like them taking this money to improve the game. So Bacon, tell me your thoughts on this positive experience. Again, from a smaller game, a small developer, it was huge for them, but still it is a incredibly positive experience for being on Game Pass. So talk to me on your thoughts on this.
It's just like Double Fine when they were acquired and Psychonauts was crowdfunded. Tim Schafer came out and said we were able to add substantially more to this game because of that funding. It's a kind of an apples to oranges because they're now purchasing their first party product. But as a Game Pass player myself, Gotham Knights is a game that I will use as my reference, a game that I heard all the negativity about and had no intentions of buying this game until it was on a super deep discount. And then I bought it on Epic, and then it came to Game Pass the very next day, of course. So I played it on Game Pass for Achievos, and it is probably my top 3 games I've played this year. I absolutely love Gotham Knights. And that's what Game Pass is good for. It's low barrier to entry. You're not putting money forward. You're like, it's just a download and it just costs you the bandwidth. And if you don't have unlimited data these days at home, you're doing it wrong. And so I try almost every single game. And if it's a game I don't like, then I just delete it. If it's a game I like, I'll stick with it for a few more hours and then move on to the next thing. Cause I have I have a problem finishing things. But it's just, we've heard these stories from multiple developers, you know, the Game Pass and the rise in the player count for Gotham Knights. They came out and said, this is amazing what this has done for our game. Avengers was the same thing. Major player counts rise with the inclusion in the Game Pass. Now, we don't know the back end of these contracts. We don't know how much Xbox paid. But if he was able to delay it this long, then they must have paid him enough. And he is happy with the service. He's happy with the deal he got. Does Grand Theft Auto go into Game Pass? Probably not. It's just is what it is. But Game Pass continues to thrive, especially for these smaller, single A, double A, game developers who need the exposure. So I say good on Game Pass.
Jose, any thoughts on the Game Pass deal and the positive effects of it?
I mean, I feel like we've been saying that, or I feel like I was promoting that a long time ago when we talked about the idea of like the positives of Game Pass for small groups, especially. That's the way I've always viewed Game Pass, is like, I love it when I get the AAA games like Starfield, like Halo. I think those are awesome. But at the same time, like I really appreciate the fact that it just lets me try smaller games because there's so many great ones out there. And even though like I'm not like hurting for money, I don't want to spend all my money on games that could potentially be a waste of my time. So it's a really nice way to dabble. And I think, because we're going to get into this topic here shortly, and Ains just joined the chat.
Shout out to Ainsley, Bobby Bowden.
But especially for people that own more than one console, including like mobile consoles and stuff, like when being able to try it in Game Pass and be like, ooh, this is dope. This would be great for my Ally or my Logitech G Cloud or whatever. Like, I think that's a really nice element of this as well.
Shout out to Game Pass. We'll talk more about some Game Pass drops. I just wanted to shout out Ains again. Guys, do you believe Ains when he says he plays his PSVR 2 to 3 times a week?
Yes.
There's one thing he's doing on PSVR, and it's not.
I also don't think Ains is a liar. That he is strong character and integrity, so I believe him.
Jose, do you have the I don't believe you?
No. I can't just pull sound clips out of the air.
Jose, I need super producer, get on that right now. Ains, shout out to Ains. We love you, brother.
I don't believe
we'll have you on the show soon. I still don't believe that you play your PS. I heard he was talking about that. I just listened to you on Bitcast today, and he said he's been playing it. So, but he also says he's only been playing Beat Saber and like one other older VR game. But he does apparently. I'm thinking
Pistol Whip. He just put it.
I don't think he lifts anymore. I think that's what he uses to work out. Yep. See, exactly.
Dude, people lose lots of weight with Beat Saber. It's like a thing.
On the hub. He is on the hub with that.
That's how Ains is getting his cardio in. And when he's not sweating at Halo Infinite Diamond Rank.
Christmas sweater's pretty sweet though.
Let's shout out, by the way, I did read your article. Shout out, everybody go read the Seasoned Gaming article on Halo Infinite and its ranked match problem. Read the whole thing, Ains. I already gave you my feedback. I had no idea you can level up a certain amount or not level up a certain amount. So very great stuff. Ains, one of the #1 Halo fans in the world. Shout out to Ains. Everybody go read his article on the problem with Halo Infinite's rankings system. Shout out Ains. Boys, let's move on to news story number 3. Speaking of PC, boys, Xbox Compact Mode is coming in the November update. To learn about Compact Mode, available on the Xbox app on PCs, and this will help out people on apparently PC Master Race for the Asus ROG Ally. Bacon, is this out now? It's not out now. Have you tried this?
I have compact mode on my I got the update for my PC Game Pass. I'm not sure if I'm an insider on ROG Ally too, so I got it on there. It just basically condenses things to make the use of the smaller screen better.
That's it?
Yeah, it's like it's an improvement, but it's hard to quantify the improvement. The Windows 11 being optimized for PC and stuff like that, and a mouse and a cursor and a large screen and a lot of stuff going on. We've been asking for optimizations to be made on these handhelds since they've been, out, and this is going to all handhelds. So your Lenovo Legion Go's, your ROG Allies, and if you sideload it on your Steam Deck and stuff. So it's just nice because sometimes it can be cumbersome, especially not having a keyboard right there. Having the ability to navigate the ROG Ally easier will pay off in the long run. So,
I got one more question about the ROG Ally, and I'll get to it in a second. I just want to say there's some language support for keyboards, so it looks, again, they're trying to hit up that Japanese market. Console wishlist notification for free play games, so it's free to play. You'll get to know those if you want. Redeeming rewards, you can use phone authentication to redeem rewards, so nobody can be hacking those points we've been getting, Bacon. And then there is going to be an Xbox wireless controller firmware update. These are very rare. I don't feel like we get a lot of controller updates, but this is to include bug fixes to enable shift mode for keyboard mapping on the Elite Series 2 and Xbox adaptive controllers. Can somebody explain to me I don't even know what the shift button or that shift function is on my controller. Do you know what that is, Bacon? Like when I map it?
You can map different, if you're playing like an MMO RPG or something like that, where you need multiple sets of commands to have, like I use macros and stuff all over the place, and I assign so many buttons to my mouse because I don't want to be taking my fingers off the WASD keys. And so it's just a way of getting more commands. If you need a delay between doing something, the shift will just reassign if you're in a certain profile to do another command. I've never messed with it on a controller.
Yeah, because like when I see it, it's just like it's like press A, and then what do you want the shift to be? And I
Yep.
just keep it as the same button because I
Yep.
don't know what
There's no-
it
On that
is.
one, you could do like an RB and an A in succession or something like that to make it. I don't know why you'd ever want to do that.
I should look into that.
Yeah, it
it's
would be
them
like
just.
it'd be-
Oh, go ahead.
oh, go ahead, Bacon. Sorry.
It's just them trying to reach out and be more PC with the controllers. And with
More
the
of a
Xbox,
PC
so.
function. I wouldn't be using this on console.
I
Jose,
mean,
go ahead.
you can. It's on your Elite controller. You can do it on console also.
I mean, the way to think of it is like, so on your Elite, you know how you have the 2 back buttons, even though most of us only use you have 4 actually. We
4,
only
but yeah,
use
only
2.
2. Yeah.
If you set one of those others that you don't use to be your shift button, then when you hold it, all of the buttons on your controller could be remapped to a different function.
Oh,
so
so I can like
theoretically,
switch the buttons in between.
not even
whenever I want.
switch. As soon as you hold, it's like a switch on a keyboard, right? You hold it and you press K.
Oh,
and K
it's like the shift.
capitalized.
I hold shift plus A, and that would
Yeah.
be.
It would be a different
Yeah,
command
it'd be a
for whatever
different-
you're
yeah.
playing.
Like I have a DPI
okay.
shift on my mouse for sniping, and it drops my DPI to 250. I think I have it set to. So when I really
Oh,
need to fine-tune
so
it,
when you press that, Bacon, it'll slow down your aiming. Is what you're
you can
saying?
sign it to a lot of things.
Oh, okay.
I just never dealt with it on controller. So
Yeah, still crazy me. So shout out there. The updates coming to a console in compact mode. I did want to say, guys, I saw today, and I wanted to ask you about this, Bacon. The ROG Ally was on sale for $399.
the Z1, no,
I know it's the
not
Z1. What's the difference?
The Extreme has more cores. It's way more suited.
So
to what
how much less of performance was I really going to get if I would have snagged one up?
I'm
Can you
15,
give me a
20%
percentage?
probably.
Okay.
It's 2 less cores.
But
It's
I
2
mean,
less cores.
there was like a there was some of the used, open box returns, $299.
I mean, I would
That's
rather
good.
you get
$299 is good.
I would rather you get one than not get one and get rid of that G Cloud.
I don't have a G Cloud. I returned it, but I'm just saying that's the same price as the G Cloud. Heck
I'm gonna
yeah,
tell
I'd
you,
rather
the
have
ROG
Ally.
Ally is fantastic. Dude.
It's dope, dude.
It is a fantastic.
I'd rather
piece of
just
hardware.
spend that $400 or
I would rather you
$500
spend it on
towards a
a
laptop.
graphics card also. So that's just me.
I'd rather, yeah, exactly. Or a GPU. News story number 4. Jose is switching to PC. He said he on Twitter, so he cannot take it back. PCMR faux life. #forever digital. Thank you for that update, Jose. News story for real number 4, since I deleted some. This is a 2-part story. Number 1, Killer Instinct is on Game Pass, and we're talking about 10 years of Killer Instinct. The Killer Instinct Anniversary Edition is on Game Pass now. Check that out. Bacon, tell me your what you thought of it. It has 4K 60 FPS on Series X, and then 1440p 60 FPS on Series
I didn't realize
S.
how many fighters there were in that game. It's been a while since I played it. There are a ton of characters. I'm 2-0 in my fights since I downloaded it. I mean, it works well. It's not. I mean, it doesn't look as pretty as every other fighter out right now, but it's alive and it's back and it's getting a player base. I played online matches and had no trouble finding someone to play against. So
that's nice.
Yeah, go out and play Killer Instinct because it's there and it's free and it didn't cost you $10.
Exactly. I was just gonna say this is a free update. If you already own the game, you will get the anniversary edition. And Bacon, I first say I own this as well. I must have gotten this. I won this on like Mixer or something
You
stupid
might have
like
won
that.
it that day at the Microsoft store with the rest of us.
Yeah, I don't know. I own this game apparently, and it is like I said. If you own it, you get the free update. Otherwise, I think it's $30 for brand new. And the free to play version of Killer Instinct is now available on Steam for the first time ever with all the updates. So shout out to Killer Instinct. But the biggest news, Wario64 dropped a bomb tonight on Game Pass. Gentlemen, we were just talking about it. I said, hey, do you think we should buy Remnant 2 and play some hot co-op action on this potential game of the year that everyone's talking about? Remnant 2 and Remnant from the Ashes are now on Xbox and PC Game Pass. Just a shadow drop out of nowhere. Perfect timing. Very glad. I was this close to pushing purchase, you guys, and I'm like, let's wait until we get crossplay confirmed. Wow, Jose, happy early Merry Christmas.
Just to me and not Bacon?
To all of us, to all Game Pass owners.
I mean, here's my question. I mean, this is amazing, by the way, because literally last episode we were talking about this. We were like, all right, let's do it. We'll find a good deal right now. Let's all jump in, and we were worried about crossplay. That's what was holding it. A question though: have either of you played Remnant 1?
Nope.
And why I'm asking is it worth for me to do that before jumping into Remnant 2, or no? I don't know.
Do we know? Bacon?
Anybody? I don't know.
I've never played the series at all. So
anyone watching this video, please tell us, or JBiz, because you loved Remnant 2. If you hear this, if you played Remnant 1, tell us. I'd love to know.
Here's the problem with Remnant 2, though. Actually, no, it's co-op 2 to 3. It is 2 to 3 as well. 4K. It has achievements, cloud saves, Xbox Live. I'm looking at it right now in the PC store. I'm trying to see a Remnant 2, 2 to 3.
2019. Wow.
Cloud saves. Okay, a little concerning. I'm not seeing Play Anywhere, Bacon.
No, I went back into Reddit to make sure, and it hasn't been. The developer assures us it's literally days away. But
okay, so we'll still wait on it. But if worst comes to worst, you'll have to boot up your Xbox.
Worst comes to worst, though, I've got it for free on Xbox, so I have zero concerns. So I will actually download it on Xbox and play it just to play with you guys.
So yeah, so guys, if you have any interest, actually you should have. If you need a game to play right now and you have Game Pass, check out Remnant 2. I've heard nothing but great things about this game, especially on BigCast. Shout out to BigCast again.
Travis,
my guy Travis loves it. I think he gave it like an 8 or a 9 or something like that. So everyone on there seemed to enjoy it. I cannot wait to try this. We will wait until we get crossplay, hopefully, to get with Bacon. If not, we will be playing this co-op on our Series X's. And the last news story, speaking of Ains again, coming in strong with a Halo representation, the Halo Championship merch is now live on the Xbox Gear Shop. And I gotta say, you guys, I really like that demon hoodie for the Overkill Extermination Ninja Kilimanjaro. Perfect. Pretty cool hoodie, I'm not gonna lie.
Camouflage one's dope.
Oh gosh, Bacon,
I like the camo one too.
And I kind of like this red Halo Championship Series 2023 helmet tee with the Chiefs visor in Seattle. Even though I don't know if I like it having Seattle's backdrop now that I think about it, but I just like the design of that t-shirt. So shout out to the Xbox merchandise. Oh, what do you guys think about this? Oh, it's Seattle again. The World Championship gray t-shirt with the Master Chief and the Halo Infinite stance. I really like that. I don't know. Anyway, Jose, you're always the merch guy. What stands out to you?
I mean, part of it is like because of the season, like t-shirts just don't appeal to me real greatly right now because it's like very cold out here in Colorado. So I mean, honestly, because I like minimal stuff, so I actually liked the long sleeve tee with just the trophy. But in terms of the graphic ones, I actually was first drawn to the camo hoodie too, and I'm not even a big camo guy. I just think that was a cool thing. But I like the Master Chief thing. I'm not from Seattle. I don't have a lot of ties to Seattle, so that's a little hard for me. And I haven't been around on Halo Championship long enough to like get the multiple cities. You know what I'm saying? So
Ains probably has like Kansas City one.
What size of hoodie would you both wear? What size of hoodie would you both wear?
Oh, give me that demon one, Bacon. I'll take the demon in large.
You don't have to give me a hoodie, Bacon. I don't do X, but you don't need to buy me that hoodie. That's expensive.
No, that's too much money, Bacon.
I can assure you your Christmas gift.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to get you like a card and some cookies. So
that's nice. Dan didn't get us anything last year.
Ooh, cookies sound.
I got you games that you probably still haven't played, you bastard.
The last one, he was like, "What'd you give me?" Oh, I'm going to send you a game right now, which I appreciate.
Anyway, guys, that has been the Xbox news for the week. Let's jump into what have we been playing and watching. And I got to go first here, guys. I have been playing my PlayStation 5. Believe it or not.
Spider-Man 2.
Just dusting it off. And I jumped in finally to Bloodborne from 2015. And I got to say,
it's not that good.
I'm like 2 or 3 bosses down. I'm in old Yarnum now. It's a Souls game. You
know what Joe would say?
I guess you can dare lick my balls, Capitan.
Yeah, you know what? And I guess I would say to Joe that you already know that the game of generation is not Bloodborne. It's Elden Ring, and it's not even close as far as I'm concerned. Here's the thing with Bloodborne. I like the gun parry. There's this cool mechanic where when somebody's about to hit you, you can shoot them, and if you time it right before they hit you, you shoot them, and the parry actually works. It seems like it's. I shouldn't say that. The Sekiro parry worked, but it was difficult. This parry works better than the Demon Souls parry because it seems like a much larger window and much more generous. I like that. And that's about it that I've enjoyed from Bloodborne. By the way, yes, playing in 1080p, 30 FPS, it does not look good at all. Good. And I know this game came out on the PS4. Okay, whatever. I still don't think it is that good of a looking game. And coming from Elden Ring, which was at 60 in performance mode, Sekiro with enhancements, and Dark Souls 3 with enhancements, I'm like, I can't play the Souls games at this start. It's a little jarring. But
so let me ask, if it had a remaster, because I know Joe always pushes for that, do you think that would help if it was?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it would help my experience, absolutely, but I don't think it would necessarily change my opinion of the game so far very much. It's nothing stood out to me, to be honest. Like the setting is, it's like dark and brown, and I'm thinking, man, should I play?
What's being wrong with being dark and brown?
It's boring. Everyone hyped this game up to me saying like, this is the best Souls game. It's some guy I wrote on Twitter, some rando was like, oh, you haven't played Bloodborne? This is their best episode. This is their best game yet. It's the lore. And I'm like, this feels like another Souls game. I don't know what's going on. The NPCs are the exact same as far as I'm concerned. There's always the one woman who heals you and gives you your powers. There's like random NPCs are like, what are you doing behind this wall talking to me? It feels like an extension of Dark Souls, but I just feel like Dark Souls 3 is way better. And I feel like
Elden Ring the better
is superior. And I feel like
better
Dark Souls 1, set this all up, and even that is better. So I don't know. Again, I'm probably, I'd say 4 or 5 hours in, like I said, 2 bosses down. I'm playing it. I'm paying my respect to From Software. I don't see it passing Elden Ring or.
Are you
Dark
just
Souls
playing
3.
your PS5 so you can sell it? Is that what you're doing?
I'm trying to get through it. Yeah. So I have Bloodborne, and then I have Last of Us Part 2 and Miles. I don't even know if I'm going to do Spider-Man 2 at this point. I just
wait for PC, bro.
Anyway, so I also played some Halo with Ains, enjoying that. Played some Call of Duty with Bacon. I've actually been having fun playing multiplayer with Bacon. I'm not gonna lie, I've had fun, and I can't
tell him how good I am.
That. Bacon can be good. He started off strong, and then
it's like the game types.
DWALLY here, Bacon up here, but then as the more we played, DWALLY surpassed the professional. And
he's a lover, not a fighter.
That came down to the game type of the one where we only get 30 lives, and I go way too hot. But it's the standard multiplayer where I get just banging hot. So
there were also team deathmatch
right.
where I had like 30 kills.
You did pass me, and you and I were usually 1 and 2 in every lobby we were in.
We were Bacon and I were up top. This is true.
I just want it noted. You always tell me I'm a terrible Halo player, but I'm an exceptional.
I will say that Bacon is way better at Call of Duty.
What does Warzone come out again?
December 6th.
Okay. So I'll jump on when
I don't know, Jose. I mean, I'm having fun with multiplayer, man. It's
those maps are iconic.
I prefer Modern Warfare 1, but I don't know. If it was on sale for $30, I would say buy it, Jose, for sure. The multiplayer.
What's it on sale for right now?
It's 60. It was on sale for 60 during the sale. But yeah, and I've been still chugging away like Skyward Sword. I don't know why I play that game. But Jose, what have you been playing?
I've actually only been playing one game because I rolled credits on Alan Wake last week. But I did finally start Cult of the Lamb. I bought it literally like 8 months ago. It's been in my backlog.
Yeah, I saw you on it.
It's great, man. It's a really fun, not little game. Yeah, little in the sense that it's like an indie and stuff like that, but very different in terms of its story. Like it's like cute but incredibly dark.
Yeah.
Because you're literally.
I hear they're adding sex to the game. Did you see that tweet?
Oh, I didn't see that. But I mean, literally, like you maintain a cult and you like rescue people and then you indoctrinate them. And like a big mechanic of the game is like maintaining your camp. Like it's almost like a cozy game where you're like building new things and you're gathering resources. But it gets weird where like if people dissent, you throw them in jail, and if they don't stop dissenting, you can like murder them in like rituals and stuff. And that raises like the faith level of your followers. And that's just like half the game. The other half of the game is like exploring it as like a roguelike where the levels kind of increase in difficulty and stuff. I don't know if I'll finish it. I do really like it. It's kind of a nice time waster. It's not quite a button masher because there is some definitely strategy in terms of like how you're moving and dodging and stuff like that, but definitely a lot of fun. Highly recommend. But I am looking at something else to maybe play over the break. So I might actually bite the bullet on Modern Warfare. I still have a gift card I got to spend. So maybe I'll do that. Other than just that, because I've been trying to get a lot of stuff done for work. Again, I have that event tomorrow. I've been doing a lot of work at home for it. I watched a bunch of stuff this week. I did finish Dr. Sleep. Cool movie. Definitely. If you like The Shining, it's worth
Bloodborne.
Watching. It's very different. There's a lot of nods to the original movie, and obviously there's some really heavy pieces that are borrowed from it. But engaging, like great graphics and definitely like creepy and stuff like that. So worth it, especially if you have Max. It's on Max right now. I also watched Blue Beetle, the Latino superhero.
A Latino.
I enjoyed it quite a bit because there's a lot of references to like cultural elements that are very accurate. And there's some humor if you follow like Latino actors and stuff. If you weren't Latino, I don't know if you would enjoy it as much. And that's not a racism thing. That's just a like at face value. It's not the most amazing movie on the planet, but it was okay. And I like.
Where would you rank it in the DC universe?
No, you don't want to ask me because I like all the movies. But even I watching it, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun.
Is it better than Batman v Superman?
No, I like that one better.
Yeah, okay.
I like that one better.
Crazy.
And then the last one, I watched Resident Evil Death Island, which is like the CGI movie that came out.
Resident Evil.
I know. But I love Resident Evil. I had to watch it. It was also okay. I mean, again, I enjoyed it, but it wasn't like revolutionary. I like the Resident Evil show a lot better, and the movie Raccoon City that came out a couple of years ago a lot better. But that's what I've been mostly doing this week. Again, just trying to get through stuff at work, but it's been solid, man. And then also watching an extraordinary amount of YouTube videos about building a PC, which I don't think we're going to get to today, but maybe another day we'll talk about it.
You don't have to watch videos. I will help you do it. Don't worry.
I know you'll help me, but I want to learn. I like to learn.
Do it.
That's the whole hobby. I could just go buy a computer.
Yes, building it is key, and I'm glad you're on the right track.
Yeah, you're way ahead of me. I mean, I just put in some RAM one time.
That is the exact answer, Chapo.
Do you know what RAM stands for, Dan?
Random access memory.
Something memory.
Random access memory.
Yeah.
No, thank you, Bacon PC Master Race.
Yeah, that's what I've been up to, man.
PCMR.
That's okay. So, Bacon, what have you been playing and watching?
All right, I'll start the small stuff first. I put more time into Persona 5.
Yeah, how's it going? Are you sticking with it?
It's hard. It's very dialogue heavy. And I don't know if it's a bug. Some of the dialogue is voiced, and then some of the lips are moving and no voice is coming out. It could, and I'm just playing it on my ROG Ally. Again, it's a great game for the ROG Ally. Yeah. It's still not in a genre or anything I would like. I also tried Persona 5. It's just probably never going to be my thing, but it's a great looking game, and I like tactics based games, like turn based games. I like stuff like that. So it should fit a lot of my box. And not say I'm going to put it away, but I'm going to keep giving it a little bit of love. So Mike and I finished the zombies campaign, just shy of 40 hours to unlock the final skin, and it is epic. It is a zombie skin, and I've only seen one other player in lobbies that have had that skin, and it's sick. It was
is there like good save progression points on this, Bacon?
Oh yeah, you just get missions, and it's like you go do a run, yes, and do this and do this, and then you extract with this to unlock XP rewards and all kinds of stuff, and then both of us were like, that took a long time, but we both love our skin. So add that 40 hours on top of the nearly a day I have in multiplayer, and then the 7 hours I have in the campaign.
That's a full-time job, bud. That's what I was saying.
It's almost 60 hours I have in that 4 out of 10 game. I just want to point that out. So sitting back and looking at these Epic Game sales and the Steam sales that were going on, I did something that I never thought I would do. I purchased 2 PlayStation only games on
He
Epic.
did. Listen here. He did, folks. He bought PlayStation IP.
Crash Bandicoot 1.
And it's not good because it's going to force me to now officially sell my PS5 because the thing is worthless to me.
It's over.
I bought Returnal, which is by far their best IP, and Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate. And I got Final Fantasy for like $24. The original Final Fantasy VII Remake and the Integrate expansion for $25. And I love that game.
It's a great game.
Only problem is it's capped at 120 frames a second, and I could get way more out of it than I'm
The
getting.
only problem is it's capped.
It's
at
capped at
120.
Capped at 4K
But
120, folks.
Living in the year 3000.
Returnal, that one has an unlocked frame rate, and I'm maxing out my monitor refresh rate 4K, max ray tracing, max everything, and I'm holding 138 frames, no problem. Coming from it being 60 frames, I own both these on the PS5, by the way. I just want everyone to know that.
Did you beat Final Fantasy VII Remake?
No, I played like an hour of it, and I was like, this is the PS4 version, and I hate everything about it. But now
you
I'm
love
on
it,
the,
but
now
now
I'm on
you
the
love it.
correct version.
Okay.
So I'm going to finish both these games. And the cool thing, Returnal with the DualSense Edge control, you got to use the controller because there's things that you have to do with the trigger in combat.
Yeah,
that's
I
why
heard
I'm
about
using that
That's what
controller.
I'm like, I don't think I'll ever
It's
play
not-
it 'cause
it-
I can't.
no,
I
it's
can't
fantastic.
stand those controllers, dude.
It's
I can't
fantastic.
stand the resistive triggers.
It's not really resistive. It's just a second firing mode that when it's built up, you have to pull the trigger all the way down to get that grenade or the ultimate that's fired out of it. And it works well. Don't judge it. I normally turn off resistive triggers on all of the, Aloy games. But I'm getting 138 frames, maxed everything,
Right.
zero lag, zero everything. It has super ultra wide support. So, as PlayStation players, we get the best of the game when it does come out. So if they continue their stance of 1 year to 2 years to release, I'll wait and play all their games. I'll play on.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna get
PC.
Spider-Man 2 eventually.
Yeah, it's substantially better, and I play and own them both on PS5. I just want that noted. It is substantially better on PC, and we pay less for our games on PC. So
You're also waiting,
it doesn't matter.
and you're also
Dan's
paying a
impatient.
lot
How
more
long
for
have you
that
been waiting to
4090.
play Bloodborne? How long have you been playing to finish Spider-Man?
I
Miles
could have
Morales?
played Blood. I could have.
Don't
I was
tell me.
waiting to get better performance.
That's
That-
the
I was.
problem with us is we have FOMO, and that's why we own
That's
these
not true.
PS5s
If
is
that
for
were-
FOMO.
If that were
That's why
true,
I
I'd
own
be
mine.
playing Spider-Man 2, or I would have played Final Fantasy 16. No, I own a PlayStation because there
why-
are a few games I genuinely like. Like I was a huge Naughty Dog fan up until The Last of Us. So now I'm like, I don't know. I honestly, that's why I am at the point where I'm like, I don't know why I have a PS5. I like
FOMO.
Spider-Man, but I'm
It's
not.
FOMO. It's FOMO for me.
We can talk about this.
But
Anything
what
else?
I've been watching in anticipation of the next Hunger Games, I've been watching through all the Hunger Games movies. I watched 2 of them yesterday. First 2
Good movies.
Love 'em.
Nice. I still haven't seen
Love
the
the Hunger
final
Games.
Mockingbird Part 2. But
Did you read
speaking
the
of
books, by the
Jennifer
way,
Lawrence,
Bacon?
you guys have
Great
you
books.
I
seen
read, I audiobooked the second one, I believe is what it. So I watched the first movie. I'm like, I do kind of really like this. So I audiobooked the second. I don't read.
I don't read
I'm not
books.
educated.
Dialogue, guys. Have you seen No Hard Feelings, which is free to watch on Netflix right now? The recent comedy starring her. Check it out. It's on Netflix. If you have Netflix, it is a by the way, check it out because you see everything.
Oh.
Let me just tell
Who
you.
is this?
Jennifer Lawrence. Oh, you see.
I've seen everything
Everything.
with Jennifer Lawrence, but I've had to go some pretty bad websites to get to them.
Oh, well, you see it in this movie, and it's hilarious. I enjoyed it. Allie and I watched it on Netflix. If I say it, it was pretty funny. Think of Girl Next Door, but with a 30-something, middle-aged woman, Jennifer Lawrence, dating a younger kid.
Is it like Failure to Launch, the one with Matthew McConaughey? And
Is that about? It's basically about this kid. They're concerned that he hasn't been very social. He stayed in his room. He's going off to college, and their parents want him to date someone to loosen him up and let him expand his horizons into the world. Exactly. And at first I thought it was kind of cheesy, but then by the end I was like, actually, I enjoyed that movie. It had a good message, and I related to it because it's basically about geriatric millennials, us, trying to relate to these Zoomers and
youths.
youths,
Food
and
youths.
I enjoyed it, and it had some cute moments in it, and Allie enjoyed it too. So I do recommend that if you have Netflix.
What's it called?
No hard feelings.
No Hard
Starring
Feelings.
Jennifer. I think that's it. So, guys, let's close the show like we always do with the best food we had this week. I will go very quickly. I went to Yard House tonight. We celebrated. Ellie had a good presentation today, so we decided to go out. Always just a good time. I just love Yard House. Just a great environment.
I do like the Yard House. Yeah,
Just solid food every time. It's not like crazy, but it's fine. I feel like it's gone down a little bit, Jose. But I ordered the Thai cooked like grilled pork chops. Or pork, I can't remember. I have to look it up. It was fine. I tried to keep it low calorie because I also got calamari with it. But one of my favorite things is the Hawaiian mules, Jose. Gosh, dang.
What's a Hawaiian mule?
I got to look it up, but I think it's just a different.
They had pineapple juice.
Yeah, basically it's a Moscow mule that had a little bit of pineapple juice. I'm sure that's what it is. So shout out to Yard House. I had a great time, and that was the best food. I don't think, Jose, I don't know if I have anything to add to the list this week.
I was going to say, I got the list up right now.
Is this shocking? A shocking development? Please tell me somebody else.
I'll tell you a shocking
development.
No. Oh,
can you add one pizza to the list? We did go to Garlic Knot as well, and it was fantastic. God.
Do you like Garlic Knot? Did you get the Chelsea? That's my favorite there.
I don't know. We just get standard plain cheese with the knots, dude. There's nothing. That New York style is phenomenal. So
it's good.
Jose, what about you? What's best food you had this week?
Well, just a fun update. A really crazy. We added 4 subscribers this week, gentlemen. We're up to 179, which is great.
Shout out.
Shout out to food this week. I also added a pizza. I need to do that right now. I did not have Garlic Knot, though I wish I did. I did try the Big New Yorker from Pizza Hut because I had this nostalgia for it. And I saw a commercial. I was like, ooh, let's give that a shot. Not as great as I was hoping. Mm-hmm. And I like Pizza Hut. It's no one out pizza.
I know you do. That's why it's funny.
No one out pizza. But it was not super great. Anyway, so we had that, and then I also get to add another one to the count because really this is actually really exciting news for me. So because people know that I like Popeyes, partially because of the show and also just because they see me a lot of Popeyes, I get a lot of gift cards to Popeyes, which is really I like that. That's great. It's useful. I like the utility. Here's the problem. Our local Popeyes doesn't take gift cards. It does not accept them. And not only that, if you put it in the app, because you can upload it into your app, you can't even order from the app, pay with the card, and go pick it up. That doesn't work. It does not accept them. So literally, I've been sitting on about $100, no joke, in my Popeyes account that I've not been able to use for anything. Turns out at Park Meadows, they do accept it in the mall.
He told us last week.
Are you forgetting?
I am. It's my boomer.
This is the second time he's done this where he's forgotten about. Oh my
He's just so happy.
He's aging before our
I'm just so happy.
I didn't know Popeyes
had
an account.
Anyway, we went back to Popeyes. It was delicious. And then
I'm going to take over for Jose. I got the Thai grilled pork chop. I just got to fill you guys in. 11-ounce bone-in basil, cilantro, cauliflower, fried rice with mushrooms, snap peas, bok choy, carrots, red onions, baby broccoli, spicy honey sauce, and crispy garlic. It was delicious. Only 660 calories. If you want to keep it low, recommend it. Calamari, delicious. I know. When you go to Yard House, I should be getting some.
That's what I'm going to Yard House.
And so, anything else today?
We didn't really talk about Thanksgiving because it was Thanksgiving last week.
Oh yeah.
Thanksgiving was great meal from my mother-in-law.
Always.
My favorite part of our Thanksgivings are we do tamales and all kinds of red chili and green chili and other Mexican food, which fantastic. That's my favorite part of Thanksgiving is that piece of it. That's it, man. Good week of food. Looking forward to another great food week, hopefully this week.
Bacon, tell me you ate something good.
I need a ruling on a pizza real quick. They have these kits at King Soopers that come with the dough and the sauce and the cheese, and the wife made it tonight. It's says the cheapest pizza she's ever gotten.
Pizza?
Yeah, it just came with soft dough, and you spread it on the pan, and you flour it, and then you add your sauce, and then you cook it. Does that count? I mean, it is a pizza eaten.
No.
Hell yes, that counts.
No, it doesn't. No.
How's that not fast food?
Because then we would count caca stuff like Papa Murphy's Take and Bake. That is not fast food.
I got nothing to add.
You are taking it and cooking it. not
the
fast.
best things I had, because my wife is an amazing cook.
My wife.
She made homemade French dips. They were very tasty.
That sounds
by the
way
way.
better. Bacon.
That sounds
That's
awesome.
way better. Do you have
And
au jus?
yes, and a surprise trick. She's always responsible for the pies for Thanksgiving. She dabbled in a peach pie. It was good. I ate it. I think there were some things in our ingredients.
What a praise.
She threw the rest of it away. So don't. But she always makes fantastic pumpkin pie. So she made one peach and one pumpkin to take to our event, and she made a third one, pumpkin pie, slid in the fridge, and we ate it for the next week.
That's awesome.
Guys, update to our food. 179 subscribers, 95. Oh my gosh, Popeye's spicy chicken sandwiches eaten. 58 breakfast burritos, 7 Chipotle burritos, 15 Big Macs, quarter pounder with cheeses, and 22 pieces eaten. I almost want to say the Popeyes should be chicken sandwiches eaten, because I do throw in an original in there. Are you strictly just spicy, Jose?
Oh, I think I actually
Original's better.
I'll just put chicken sandwiches, because I think
Just
it
put
is a
chicken
mix about of them.
/ spicy.
No, I'm just gonna put chicken. It's either.
Spicy. No, put
either.
put
We
spicy
all know it's
/
Popeyes.
regular. No, I want the clarification. Spicy / regular. This is our show and our ticker.
Wonder what
You're
my
gonna
wife
freaking
thinks.
update it. By the way, quick update on a Hawaiian meal, Jose, and I gotta go get this. It's New Amsterdam pineapple vodka, ginger beer, pineapple mint, and
That sounds like it would wreak havoc on my acid reflux, bud.
Really?
Yeah, acid
It's just
reflux
vodka
stuff,
and ginger
Yeah.
beer.
I used to have it.
And pineapple.
You don't like
Very
pineapple?
acidic.
It's
Very-
high acid.
Yeah.
Is
very
it? Oh man, I love
Could you not pass science, bud?
That would.
Gentlemen,
wreak
this
havoc
has
on
been
acid reflux.
the Nerd Chat episode 135. It's true. The Starfield Tax exists. My name is DaddyDWALLY. You can follow me at DaddyDWALLY across all social media. You can follow me on the Xbox Network, the PSN Network, the PS Network, and the Nintendo whatever at DaddyDWALLY. Actually, on Nintendo, I don't even know what they have on it. Screw that.
Doesn't
Across
matter.
Epic, across Steam, DaddyDWALLY. You can follow the show at the Nerd Chat Podcast.
That's that acid reflux I was talking about.
Put a gummy bear down there. You'll be fine.
You can find me on Twitter or X at Chipotle Bear, or Chipotle _Bear, sorry, and Instagram at Chipotle Bear. Also on Xbox, Chipotle Bear. if
We're
you
also on
play any games
Threads.
I do. Yeah, we are also on Threads. I like Threads.
Jose, did you notice I've been tweeting more with the Nerd Chat
I like
and
the
myself
Threads,
on
but
Threads?
I
I'm
do both.
trying to be more active, because did you see Elon say F you to the advertisers? He's burning it down, boys.
Yeah, he's burning it down. Huge shout out to everyone listening out there. We had a lot of people stop in, Matt and Ains and everybody. I'm sure Pomps and Luke are listening too. For those that are new to us, we love a shout out, thumbs up, subscribe if you wouldn't mind. It'd be rad to get us closer to 200. And as always, feel free to drop some comments in the chat. For the record, I am learning more about PC stuff. So if you have recommendations or critiques or reasons why I should or
You
shouldn't,
got the master
let
right
me know
here.
those too.
You got
I know,
bacon.
but trying to build engagement, but don't worry about it.
channel here.
Otherwise, have a great week, guys.
I just don't want Bacon's feelings to get hurt. Bacon, where can people find you?
Well, you can find me at XbacongamN across all your socials and gaming platforms. Like, shout out the 4 new subs we gained last week. Didn't think last week was a particularly great episode. We got 4 subs. Hey, let's keep this thing rolling. Thanks for Ken and Ainsley in the chat. And I just saw
And B.
B show up in the chat at the last
Shout out to
moment.
B.
Yeah. We appreciate all the viewership. And like we said, if we can get a like, subscribe from any of you folks who just stop in. It really helps us out a lot. And I'll see you all in the PCMR streets.
What do you guys think about Long Island iced teas?
Hate them.
I don't think I could drink them now. I've had a couple bad experiences.
Oh no. What about Hennessy, Jose? I don't even know what that is.
I was going to make an inappropriate comment. I'm just going to say no.
Okay. So the other drink
Oh, it's Tennessee. That's right.
that I was considering is this is a new one, by the way, the Long Beach tea.
I mean, for record, if you want to try Hennessy, try Hypnotic and Hennessy. It's actually
I've heard
really good
you.
together.
We talked about is that
Yeah,
the
Green Hulk is what it
drunk?
is.
Yeah. Okay.
It's good.
So
It'll knock you on your butt though.
The Long Beach tea is American Harvest vodka, Bacardi rum, El Tequilano, Blanco tequila,
Tequileno.
Tanqueray gin, liqueur, orange liqueur, citrus agave, cranberry juice Sprite. That sounds freaking tastic. Only 270 calories. As always, gentlemen, see you online.
See you online.
See you online.
See you online.
Okay, listen up, everybody. Turn up your volumes. Announcement. I got good news. We're extending arts and crafts time by 4 hours today.
My fingers hurt.
What's that?
My fingers hurt.
Oh, well, now your back's gonna hurt because you just pulled landscaping duty. Anybody else's fingers hurt? I didn't think so.
Didn't think so.
The Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast, is a podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. The show was created by Daniel Walenzik, and you can follow him at DaddyDWALLY across all social media. The assistant to the co-host is Jose Martinez, and you can follow him at Chipotle_bear. The assistant to the co-host is Chance Siegel, and you can follow him at BubbleBoyN7. The intern to the assistant to the co-hosts is Jason Jarrett, and you can follow him at XbacongamN. You can also follow the show at The Nerd Chat across all social media. And if you'd like to find out more about the show, visit nerdchatmedia.com.